Hey, want to know how you become your DB coach's favorite and earn more playing time? We're talking about it today on DB Tip Clips. I'm Chad Wilson, DB trainer and author of 101 DB Tips. Getting on the field as a player requires a whole bunch of trust, both with you as well as with your DB coach. Today, I'm going to talk about how you earn that trust and get yourself on the field so you can start making the plays that you've been dreaming of. But before we get into that, be sure to pick up a copy of 101 DB Tips. It's the ultimate defensive back reference guide, everything you need to know about playing safety, cornerback, how to train in the offseason, how to study film, and a whole lot more. It's right here in this book, available as both an ebook and as a softback, just like this one. So if you got that available to you, I'll have a link to it down in the description below. Well, let's get into the matter at hand today, and that is getting yourself on the field so you can start making plays the way you've always dreamed of. As players in the secondary, our first pursuit is playing time in the starting position. To do this, we must earn favor with our coaches. By favor, I don't mean becoming his pet, but that might be what happens if you follow the steps I lay out for you in this video today. As with any meaningful relationship in your life, trust is at the top. You guys wouldn't trust your girlfriend if she never answered your calls when she went out with her friends. You also would not trust your dog if every time you let him outside, he ran down the street. With this in mind, for you to get playing time or a starting position, your coach will need to trust you. Here are 4 ways you can build trust with your DB coach. Number 1, pay attention in meetings. This one seems simple, but can be very hard to do. We all know that meetings can get boring and can seem to repeat the same things over and over. However, this does not relieve you from the responsibility of paying attention in those meetings. A lot of times, those things being repeated over and over have been ignored by you over and over. When your coach has repeated things many times and you repeatedly get them wrong on the field, he has little reason to play you in the game to see if you will then get it right. You should enter every meeting with a goal in mind. That goal should be focus on learning something new, or at the very least, gaining a new understanding of something you may have thought you knew previously. Now, this requires intentional action, and it would be best to write it down. So if you keep a notebook, and you should, write at the top of the page where you take your notes, what your goal for that meeting should be. So for instance, if you're a cornerback and the meeting is discussing, let's say, quarters coverage, you could put in the goal for that meeting that you want to know what the linebacker's responsibility is in quarters. Obviously, you know what your responsibility is, but for this particular meeting, you're going to say, let me discover and find out exactly what the linebacker's responsibility is. Doing this will keep you attentive in meetings, and trust me, your coach is going to notice. Add to that, when you ask questions in the meeting, it adds to the fact that you are indeed paying attention. Number 2 is study film. If you've spent any amount of time on my blog or on this YouTube page, reading the articles or watching the videos, you know that I'm big on this. Aside from the personal benefits you'll receive as a player by watching film, doing this will build trust with your coach. Your coach knows that success for his players on the field starts with knowing what his opponent is trying to do to him. If you show interest in this very key element of your success, your coach will feel comfortable that you're a person who will have success. Your success means the whole unit's success, and in turn, it means your coach's success. If your actions will bring the coach success, then he'll have no choice but to trust you. Make it a point to study game film, and as a side note, ask questions about things you've seen on film, or even point them out to your coach. This will definitely let him know that you are studying the game. Number 3, look at him when he's teaching. In my book, 101 DB Tips, I speak a little more in depth on this. Looking at your coach while he's giving instruction is highly underrated. The truth of the matter is that you listen with your eyes. I mean, what I just said. It's difficult to divide your senses. Attempting to look at one thing while listening intently to another is difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying that it's more likely than not you will miss important information. I can assure you that no coach likes speaking to a player or a group of players and having them look elsewhere. It's an indication to the coach that what is being said to the player is not all that important to him. If what the coach is saying is not that important to the player, then on game day, the player's playing time won't be that important to the coach. The only time it benefits you to not look at the coach while he's talking is in a game when he's yelling some instruction to you from the sidelines. Other than that, it's all about giving that coach your eyes. Every time outside of that, give your coach your eyes when he's speaking to you. It'll go a long way in him trusting that what he said to you was understood. Finally, number 4 is be where you're supposed to be. This one's obvious, but it's not always achieved. The truth of the matter is that if you do the first 3 things that I mentioned in this video, you will most likely achieve this 4th one. However, do not take this one for granted. Being where you're supposed to be does not just involve in practice or on the game field. If you're supposed to be in the weight room at a certain time, then be in the weight room at that time. If you're supposed to be in class, be in class. If you're supposed to be in study hall, be in study hall. If your girlfriend told you that she was going to your grandmother's house and instead she ended up at a concert, I'm certain that your trust in her would diminish. Just like a safety's supposed to be in the post in cover 3, so too should you be in the weight room, on the field, or in the classroom at the times you were instructed to be. Whether you know this or not, your coach is nervous on game day. It takes a lot for him to believe in what another person is going to do out on that field. You can make him believe by following the steps and doing the things that I've outlined in this video. As always, consistency does breed results, and it turns out that it also builds trust. And that's it. And I need you guys to trust me on this one. A copy of 101 DB Tips and or a membership in the All Eyes DB Camp members area is going to take your DB game from here to way up here. So jump on those things. I have links to them down in the description below. Also, if you're new to the channel or you haven't had a chance to do this already, go ahead and subscribe as well as hit the bell so you're notified the next time I put out a great video like this one. Outside of that, if I helped you out here, go ahead and give the video a like and a share, and drop your comments down below if you have any questions about defensive back play or anything that I mentioned in this video. Drop a comment. I'd be more than happy to answer those for you. And if you have anything that is on your mind that could be a topic for one of my next videos, use the comment section to drop that information there as well. That's it for me. I'm out of here. And as always, All Eyes DB Camp. Consistency breeds results.